Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Lifelong Gunner podcast. 4-1 win, guys. Through to the next round. Um, Mixed, but we move. Um, First half, a story of two tales. First half, a little bit shaky, a little bit concerning. Second half, a lot better. Um, it could be because there was a lot of chops and changes. But this is a reaction video, so let's get into it. All right, so first off, um, I got the predicted lineup slightly wrong. In terms of position and personnel. So Waneri started into midfield three. Madueke started on the wing. I thought Waneri was going to start on the wing. Big Gabby started the game to my surprise. I thought, especially after having injuries recently, that he would have been given a rest. But he started, which in retrospect, with what that first half was like, probably was a good idea. And Norgard started alongside him in the middle of the fence. I guess it made sense from that point of view too, because Norgard is not a central defender by trade, and so consequently, you would need somebody who is level-headed, stable, reassured, a good authority figure for to partner him in defense. All right, guys. So we had Kepa in goal, we had Skelly at left back, Gabriel and Norgard in center of defense, White on the right wing back position, and then we had Eze, Merino, Waneri in the middle of the park, and then we had Martinelli left wing, Madueke right wing, and Jesus up top. All right, so moving on. So the first half, let's talk about the first half, guys, because that was the most tumultuous first half I've seen from Arsenal in a long time. And it's so strange because even though we made a lot of chops and changes, the opposition is of a lower quality. No disrespect to Portsmouth, but I expected a lot more in terms of authority. Um, that Arsenal would have imposed themselves on Portsmouth. But all right. So we started with a strong lineup. I thought it was strong. Poor start. Norgard loses his man leading to the first goal. Um, then yeah, I think Kepa should have done better with how he handled the ball because he made an initial save, but that save he put it right back into the box, basically on the foot of the Portsmouth attacker. And you need to know where to put the ball if you're making a save and you see other players around, you make an assessment of the box. You don't put the ball back into the danger area. You try to parry it somewhere else. But anyways, Kepa doesn't play a lot, but he's a seasoned keeper. You should know that. Um, Set piece FC. Um, a good corner from Eze leads to our own goal. I initially thought it was a Norgard goal, but turns out it was our own goal. Um, and Norgard seemed to have been struggling in I don't know if it was his instructions. I don't know if it is the fact that he doesn't really play in that position. But he seemed to have been struggling in that central defensive position. Um, Funnily for me, I thought in the first half when I was looking at the game state, I thought that, funnily enough, as much as we criticize and as much as I criticize Gyökeres, I feel like this would have been a perfect game for him. Um, I don't know why. I just felt like there was a lot of situations and space where Gyökeres would have gotten that ball that he always wants, that one run that he always makes because he doesn't know how to make any other run, apparently. Um, so set piece FC, we score. Um, Score again. Madueke, corner Madueke Martinelli free header. So we're at 2-1 to Arsenal. Um, then there's a good through ball to Jesus, who backheel it to Madueke. Um, has his shot blocked. Now Madueke needs to, in this particular instant, when Gabriel Jesus backheels the ball to Madueke, Madueke needs to try to learn how to feint his shots, give himself more space, make an additional step, and shoot like Saka. I find that oftentimes Madueke just shoots even if his man is in front of him. It just turn into a block and it looks clumsy. It's like, why even shoot when you know that this is definitely going to get blocked? And oftentimes when Madueke decides to shoot, it oftentimes is like, I can see it, and I'm not even on the field. I'm not even in England, and I can see it that, bro, like there's no point in shooting like that. You might as well just pass it off or continue to try to find a way to beat your man. Um, but anyways, it was a good build-up. It was a good series of play. And I like to see that. It was something different from the just the passing and the passes that lead to nothing, right? Um, where are we now? So Martinelli missed that empty goal, guys. So this is what I'm saying. Like, and not just this game, in games overall this season, Arsenal needs, especially when you have goals that are blaringly open like that, you have to dispatch it. You know what I mean? Now, I understand that life is not perfect and things don't always go the way we want to go. And there are instances where lapse in judgment, that can happen. But my gosh, especially after already scoring, you have to hit those. All right. So we started at the end of the first half, we started dominate play. Madueke good runs, beat his man, draws a penalty, and then Madueke misses the penalty. Before he took the penalty, I could see I don't know if you want to say it's anxiety, but I could see Madueke, he was unsure of where to place the ball. And when you're taking a penalty and you start to overthink, penalties are already 50-50. When you start to overthink, then you have no chance, and hence penalty miss. Ethan Waneri, after not playing for a long time, I guess it affected his confidence. I guess he would have been a little bit off key. But you still expect to see some level of presence and trying and relentlessness. I never saw that. Because I had a very, 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 very quiet first half, to the point where I'm just like, yeah, I wonder if it makes sense to persist with him in the second half. But we did persist, so, and then he started to improve as the game progressed into the second half. Um, Benoit had a couple of good defensive moments in the beginning of the second half. Um, Quick free kick by Skelly. Great ball to Jesus for Martinelli to tap in. That was an amazing, amazing, amazing ball. Now Jesus didn't score in the game, but I could see him trying. I could see the rustiness. He's been out for a year, guys. But one thing with Jesus is you can always see the willingness and appetite to help the team out, to try to push, to try to beat his man, to try to know that once he can see it not working, that next best thing is to bring your teammates into the game. And that was a lovely ball and a lovely move. Um, a good series of play between Martinelli, Ben White, and Madueke. At this point, Waneri was really getting into the game. Um, all right, so where are we now? So 68 minutes, we have the introduction of Havertz for Jesus, Odegaard for one area, and Timber for White. Set piece FC again, another great corner. Madueke knows how to put the balls into the box. Um, Bars, but he knows how to. He has a very good delivery from corners, because all of those corners that he took looked very dangerous. Like they could even just go in even without anybody touching it. But Madueke, great corner, and another header to make it a hat trick for Martinelli. And at that point, we were 4-1 up, and the game was pretty much wrapped up. At that point, we were dominating the game. You could tell that we were feeling ourselves out of flips and tricks. You know, players started to feel really comfortable. Um, Mali Salmon in the 75th minute, Mali Salmon makes his debut. Amazing. I was actually hoping that this would have been a game that would wrap up soon, because I actually really wanted this to happen. I really wanted Mali Salmon to make his debut, and I'm really happy that it happened. Youngest player ever for Arsenal in the FA Cup. Amazing. And I saw that he was trying to not do too much. Keep it simple as your debut. Keep it simple. Keep it tidy, and he did that. And then Zubimendi was on for Martinelli. All right. So that wraps it up. So, and that was pretty much the end of the game. Zubimendi never really had much time to do anything, but he kind of put himself around, kind of got the rhythm in, kept the rhythm in his legs because we have to go to Chelsea for the first leg quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Okay, guys. So I'm going to do a ratings breakdown for the Portsmouth Arsenal game. Um, and then I'm going to do a predicted 11 for the first leg quarterfinals against Chelsea that we have in midweek. I can't remember which date it is, but sometime this week. And yeah, overall, 4-1, can't complain. A lot of French players got an opportunity to play, to prove themselves, to get themselves mentally back into the running because we're still in four competitions and we're progressing well. Top of the league, top of the Champions League, beginning of 2026. So everything looks good. And oh, how could I forget, guys? Havertz is back, and Havertz coming on. Apart from the Mali someone debut, I think, and the Martinelli hat trick, I think Havertz. It was amazing to see him back, and you can tell that him and Odegaard not only have a good understanding, but you could also see, like, if you didn't know they were friends, you could tell through their how they play together, their ability to find each other, the ability to think the same. It's going to be really good because I think it's time for Gyökeres to take a step out of the team, just to kind of like take the all of the eyes off of him, for him to step away from the light a little bit, for Havertz and Jesus to come in and to carry it, and for him to slowly come back as a sub, less pressure, and hopefully start to get on the end of some goals, build his confidence back up. Because I know right now he's hearing the media, and he's also I know he knows that he's not doing good enough. So we'll give him some time away from things. But anyways, guys, road to 25 subscribers, 5 subscribers away, guys. 5 subscribers away. Hit that subscribe button. Remember, subscribing is free. Goes a long way. It helped me to build the channel to add more quality, more diversity. And also maybe eventually to bring some people on to do some statistical videos, and just different things. I have a lot of plans for the channel, and I would love to take you guys along with me. So subscribe so we can get there together. All right. So happy New Year again. Peace and love, and I'll see you on the next one. And we're out. Boom.